Greetings. So today's class in embedded program we shall see about the data types and their many memory representation in embedded C. So in continuation with the earlier class, we have seen what is data type. A data type, it can it specifies the type of data that has to be stored, the amount of memory that is allocated, and the range of values it can represent. So choosing a correct data type is very essential when you work with microcontrollers, which is having a lesser memory and processing power. And efficient use of data, it reduces the memory usage, improves execution speed, and enhances system performance. So in the earlier classes we have seen about the data types. So now what are the common memory representation? What we have is a data type. All these things we have seen in the earlier class itself. We have a data type, memory size, and a range. So suppose for example if it is int, it consists of about 16 bits, so it needs in the memory of about 2 bytes. So the range is about -32,768 to +32,767. Similarly, in case of unsigned char, it's going to be 2 power 8, 256. So it's around 0 to 255. So what is given in the table is a common memory representation, and this is mainly particular with the 8051 embedded C class. That is the earlier slide. You will have some memory into, and this is at the 2001 memory location. And the memory representation of a floating point data, and the floating point numbers, they are stored according to the IEEE 754 standard. So you would have studied about the single precision format and a double precision format. So this is all comes under the IEEE 754 standard, and a float value is given, a float voltage 5.25 is given. So this cannot be accommodated in a single byte or a 2 byte. So this is needed to be occupied in a 4 byte memory location. It means that it can have a sign bit, it can have an exponent, and it can have a mantissa, that is a fractional part. So floating point calculations require more memory and execution time than the integer calculation. So once you present a variable as a float data type, so you have to be very careful. You should be wisely using all the memory location. And the next is memory representation of arrays. So whenever you represent, this is all a derived classes, and when you represent an array, it should be in a continuous memory location. So for example, int data inside bracket 5 is given, so you have given some values. So what does it mean? Imagining that it starts with the location 2000, so what happens, 2000 will have a value of 10, 2001 24 30. It means that this occupies around 2 memory location. So 2 memory location, when this occupies 2 memory location, the address will be 2000, 2002, 2004, 2006 and 8. So all these values are given here. So these are the values that has been represented as int data. So 5 data is already defined, so these 5 data will be accommodated in a memory address. And memory representation of string is an array of characters ending with a null character. So you can see here a character name, and what is given is a MCT is inside a double quotation. So assuming that it starts with a memory location 3000, so at 3000 M as a character will be stored, and 3001 C, 3002 E, 3 as T, and 4 as a null character. And the next is importance of memory representation in embedded systems. So as we all know, the embedded system will have only a lesser memory locations or lesser memory capacity, and it will have only lesser power consumption. So when you use more number of memory, again the RAM usage also will be larger and the power consumption also will be higher. So in order to use all these variables and data types. Variables in a shorter memory location or a lesser memory location, the data types plays a very important role, and the representation is also very important. How much of memory is needed has to be framed earlier. So you can see here, understanding memory representation helps to minimize the RAM usage. It improves execution speed, reduce power consumption, prevent memory overflow, because you will not you will have a lesser memory, and you may not write a larger content, or you may not need more content to be saved inside the memory. You cannot save that, so it will prevent the memory overflow. So if you choose wisely, it will be inside the memory capacity. And optimize program performance and improve portability across different microcontrollers. So when you have one microcontroller and when another microcontroller, the main difference will be the memory capacity. So if when you write some program for one microcontroller, the capacity will be less when compared to the other microcontroller. So when you use your memory correctly, so it can be portable with different memory microcontrollers. And guidelines for selecting data types in embedded C. So it's very important when you want to store a character or small numeric values, an 8-bit memory location is enough to store one byte of data. So it's use char for storing characters and small numeric values. And when your values are within the range for about 0 to 255, you can use unsigned char, and use int only when value exceeds 255. And similarly, when you use char, when you use unsigned char, it takes only 1 byte memory location. When you use char, it takes around 2 memory location. So if in case you need 2 memory location, you can go for char. And similarly, when you have fractional calculations, you can go for float, but it's better to avoid float unless fractional calculations are necessary. And use arrays for storing multiple values of the same type. Choose the smallest suitable data type to conserve the memory. So what are the advantages of proper data type selection? Is efficient memory utilization, faster program execution, reduced code size, low power consumption, improved reliability, easier debugging and maintenance. So some of the applications or proper selection of data types is essential in the applications where this is very much essential is sensor interfacing, IoT devices, automotive embedded systems, medical equipment, industrial automation, consumer electronics, robotics, smart home systems. Thank you.